Bless you. Thank you.
Welcome, young, to another little podcast here. I am your host, Sterling Silver. Hello, how you doing? I'm doing good. With us we have Matthew Ferrugia. How are you doing, Matthew?
I am the knight. I am the flying grace and the boy wonder. I am he, the one who says "fuck Batman."
Yes.
More like the NyQuil.
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
and who's...
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit.
Ooh.
I'm sounding a bit fucked up.
Gasp. Probably because
Okay.
you said Fudge Batman, but okay. And Josiah, who are you, Mr. Biggs?
I am, my name's actually Starfire, thank you. I grew up in the ghetto, probably Hell's Kitchen for no discernible reason. Also, I dress like a hood rat, but one that has expensive tastes. And for some reason, magma shoots out of my hands instead of the radiation, like has always been in every single comic ever made about my, being a super heroine. So, yeah. And by superheroine, I mean I'm a drug addicted, not that I'm a woman who's a superhero.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's pretty good.
All right. So as you've children that have been listening to already, we're going to be talking about some trailers that kind of dropped a little bit a while ago.
Some trailers and some traitors.
Which one do we want to start on first, guys? What's fresh in our mind?
Let's do Teen Titans, since that's what we started off with.
All right, then let's start with
Yes,
the
sir.
horrible show that is Teen Titans Go. Right? That's the one we're talking about, right?
I don't know. I kind of want to watch
Teen
that
Titans go to the CW.
Oh boy. Yeah, a live action Teen Titans gritty, super gritty reboot for some reason.
Our reaction videos are bigger than they've ever been. So honestly, what we should be having right now is Teen Titans Go, watch Titans, and you can make a quick buck off that.
There you go.
Little idea for you, DC.
Not if they take anybody's advice ever, except for with one film we'll get to later.
Oh yes, sir.
But no, okay, so let's break it down. So it's made its rounds on the internet for the last week or two, and everybody's seen it. So
Yep.
the important thing here is remember how in every iteration of the Teen Titans, Raven was the one who brought the team together to fight the greater evil, to unite the team. She was a very confident, very graceful, very understanding of herself, always knew what had to be done, very pragmatic, not overly emotional. Basically everything that isn't in the Raven in the new trailers. So instead of an emotional wreck of a person who just basically sounds like they want to die,
Yeah.
unironically, depression feels like a victim, very victimhood mentality instead of the victor mentality that Raven had on fighting foes that they may or may not be able to win against. So, that was a big first takeaway is, why is Raven playing the opposite of Raven?
Yeah.
It's true.
Boy. And that Beast
Well,
Boy,
there's-
though.
Yeah, he gets that 2-3 seconds of screen time. Woo.
Yeah. Do you think
I'm
anything
amazed
good
that-
that will
You-
come out of this?
Did you remember when Beast Boy was actually Korean and his name wasn't Sam Garfield and he liked to race street bikes at night and do the Tokyo Drift? Because that's exactly how they've dressed him. It's like,
No.
we need to bring Beast Boy into the modern age, okay? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make him into a textbook Asian boy
Yeah.
with a racing jacket and the spiky hair. And let's just forget about his parents being in Africa and him, absorbing the animal energy. And I think it's like the green energy or whatever, like the Speed Force or whatever. And
the Green Arrow energy.
Yeah, something like that. Green boy energy. Big green boy energy.
Now we may laugh at that.
Yeah.
And for good reason, because it's goofy as hell. But at the same time, the Beast Boy that I know and love, that I was raised with, would take a look at that kind of upbringing and would go, oh man, would that not be the coolest?
And which upbringing are you talking about?
Yeah, the Teen Titans Go, of course, right? We've all
born
been
and raised on the Teen Titans Go every day. Saw an episode of it.
Yeah. 24/7 Cartoon Network.
God love it.
But yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about the original Teen Titans anime-ish one from back in the day.
It's probably gonna get brought up a couple more times, but yeah, I was like many other raised with the original Teen Titans cartoon, and I don't necessarily feel like it needs to come back. Its story was pretty effectively told. It's been done about as well as you could explore the relationship of Slade.
I mean,
Deathstroke.
You can.
I mean, the original Teen Titans never ended.
Robin. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Didn't it end?
No, it just ended on one episode. Like nothing was ever resolved.
I could have sworn that it ended right after they took out Trigun.
Yeah, technically, it ends on a high note, you could say, but it doesn't actually end.
Oh fuck! I thought that was the proper planned ending. Like, hey, we took out Trigun, and everyone wins, and we're happy.
But I mean, it's like the same kind of thing of like, oh, you mean as well Superman the animated series ends? Like, not really. It's just ending on a high note, and then Batman the animated series, not really. And then that's how we get this Young Justice League Unlimited, all that Cracker Jacks. It's still going, boy.
Well,
and there's new stories.
Young Justice, so.
Oh yeah, you're a pretty big fan of that one.
Gotta get my big bug boy. But
I love that Blue Beetle.
Okay, so let's talk about the obvious age difference why Robin is so much older than the other Titans in this new series.
Aggressively.
Because he's looking like Nightwing age, but he's not Nightwing because he's not Nightwing in the Titans. So
yeah, he's still using that batarang that's an R. So is it right wing now? But no.
No, it's the hard R bangarang.
Yes.
So seeing Robin, discipline of Batman, typically very useful force, but not excessive. Just breaking people's necks and shooting people with their own weapons seems a little on the aggressive side.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank Castle drew some gritty Batman, but you don't really try and mix and match the styles too much. Usually, you just try and stick to one or the other. And also, the guy they have playing Robin just doesn't seem like a very good actor.
Yeah.
I didn't.
From what we can see, I mean, we'll see when an actual episode comes out because that'll be the real rub to the raw. But just from initial these are the best shots and best lines we can give them, it just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
The pretty much immediate impression that I got of it is hey, look, this kid's a chip off the old block. Let's compare him to his dad. I'm not my dad. Don't compare me to him. I'm Robin. I'm very much my own boy wonder. Fuck Batman. So who knows what's to come of this, but it doesn't feel good either way. So my expectations are about as low as they could be.
Do you think
Titans was probably the worst looking of all of these, honestly?
Do you think
And Shazam wasn't amazing either. But
the guy
we'll
behind
get
this
to that.
marketing scheme was like, "Yo, this is gonna be the opening shot. Fudge Batman. Yeah, everybody's gonna remember that line and say, yeah."
We're doing 80s television all over again.
It's just like,
How
okay,
brave
well,
of him to say "fuck Batman." The hero saved us all.
what a brave thing to say.
Brave boy. Very controversial.
Yes.
What are we living in? The era of Deadpool? What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's with all this cursing and my superheroes?
Next trailer, he says, "We live in a society."
All right. So we all done with this Titans talk?
Yeah, there's no more.
Well,
to
okay.
say.
Starfire looks like a skank, and
Yeah.
it's not just because she's being played by a black woman.
Yeah. It's not because of that.
No, it's because they literally have her character pegged wrong. First off, the race that she belongs to absorbs the radiation from the sun and other sources, just like Superman. So they wear as little as clothing as possible. That's why in the Teen Titans show, in all the iterations, all the royal guards don't have shirts on. All the women are scantily dressed because they don't want to. They want as much skin exposed as possible so that they have more surface area to absorb radiation. And so, yeah. So let's just put her in a giant fur leather jacket and have her shoot what seems to be either actual fire or lava or something out of her hands. It's not green.
She's shooting
and that's
lava
the biggest
lances
gripe.
out of them.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's like, oh, her name's Starfire. Why does she shoot fire? I can see a guy in a suit saying that right now. Like, well, I don't understand why green things come out of her eyes and her hands. She needs to shoot fire, like her name says.
Yep.
Is this a Kryptonian?
Oof, man.
Maybe.
But, okay, that's the last bit on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Also, we haven't seen Cyborg, so
I don't
might
think
be
he's
the
gonna be in
saving-
here, is he?
maybe the saving grace. I bet he's gonna be in season 2. Like he's gonna be like the no. I bet it's gonna be the cliffhanger for the finish of season 1, cliffhanger season 2. Introduce Aborigine Cyborg.
Amazing. Alright.
Black stereotype cyborg
Mm.
comes in hard with the racial jokes.
Boy howdy.
I'm calling it now.
So the next we have, why not Shazam? Oh boy.
We can
no,
talk about Shazam,
No.
but I think there's absolutely nothing to say.
no,
Oh,
I
boy.
think there's a lot. I think
There's
there's
a lot to
enough.
say.
I
So
Maybe it's just my own lack of knowledge of Shazam, but I'm like, yeah, that's the child superhero.
yes, no, sit down, Matty B. Okay.
yeah.
I
So-
will have to sit down and recognize your greater knowledge on the subject of
Okay,
Shazam.
so there's two famous storylines with Shazam. Okay, there's the old Shazam and there's new Shazam. Okay, old
Right.
Shazam is like back in the 50s, 40s type era, maybe 60s. It's around that area, you know, nuclear family type. And so what we have is a little boy lost the subway, finds this ancient wizard dying, and then assumes the mantle of Captain Marvel.
Uh-huh.
but we
that was
can't
the-
call it that.
Well, that was the original name because it was actually with a different comic book that DC eventually bought
Yes.
and owns now.
Uh-huh.
And so it wasn't with Marvel Studios, it wasn't with Dark Horse Comics. It was a third, I forget the third one, but they bought a whole bunch of properties from them. And Captain Marvel was with one of them and one of the more popular people from their end of the comics. But okay, and so this is a little goody two shoes, and he says the word Shazam, the magic powers, and he's basically like Superman, but a magic 10-year-old child. And so he tries to do his best, and he's gonna be, family circles about it, and he gets in like, oh, this is a little trouble, this and that, basically like Johnny Quest type adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very wholesome, very plain Jane, good fighting evil all the time. Then we come to the 90s,
Oh boy.
in which we get current Shazam, which is renamed Shazam.
Yes.
Now, no longer Captain Marvel due to just not complicating things or even getting close to a lawsuit.
Yep.
We got to be careful. Yeah.
And so this Shazam is orphan boy, has no real family, finds magic wizard in the subway, gets the powers the same way, but all of his powers are figured out already, because it wasn't like back in the 60s whenever they're like, oh, and he has this power this comic, or oh, he has this power this comic, you know?
Yeah,
And
a little bit more continuity now.
yes, well, he already had powers that pre-existed, so they could write off of it from day one. And so this is a boy who still hasn't figured out morality. He has no strong paternal figures in his life, so he is very morally ambiguous and very much a stereotypical 10-year-old child. And so one of the most famous panels from Shazam that's passed around the internet quite a bit is where he saves an old lady from a mugging and then kindly asks her for $20. She says, okay, no, that's alright, you just saved me. And so she gives him $20. He goes back to aforementioned orphan friend who is disabled and has to use the crutch, as you've seen in the current trailer, and says, oh man, we're gonna be rich, that lady just gave me $20 for saving her. And does a power pose.
Yep.
That actually has a lot of potential for just.
Now,
yeah.
now you understand why all the goofy scenes are so important, because it's literally like, oh yes, this is actually a 10-year-old child with no moral compass, trying to figure out exactly what he does with basically unlimited power.
Yep. I can see the extreme potential that I hope this has, but DC.
And even better is that after he gets the powers, he has no compass at all. Like no mentor.
Yep.
The space wizard just disappears because he absorbs the power. Like there's nothing like stopping him from just becoming the worst piece of shit human of all time. Now that changes later once he gets accepted in Justice League and kind of figures out things and such like that. But for the time being, for like an origin story, it's a very amusing, very fun, very raunchy at sometimes comedy. So that's why I expect so much. The guy playing Shazam, the adult version, he's great. He's been in a couple things so far. I forget the guy's name, but he does some good work, and so I'm very hopeful for this adaptation. It looks very funny. It's not going to be awkward, hopefully, and if it is awkward, it's well played. Hopefully, DC will make a good live-action movie for once, with some at least decent characters.
Yeah, same here.
All right. Yeah, I am.
Now, with your newfound knowledge, Matthew, are you going to retract?
Yeah, I didn't obviously have profound knowledge of Shazam going in. Like, it was basically just like, that's kid superhero. He becomes a man when he punches people. But I guess the breakdown that you just did for a modern interpretation of what that character could be is probably the best thing that you could do with it. Because if you already have a fucking child superhero in the first place, then you want to explore that for a source of comedy, because it's not like they're already going to understand ethics. So, yeah, okay, using that as a formula actually has a lot more potential than I understood going into this trailer. So,
well, basically, it's alternate timeline for Superman without Superman, because he had the Kents, and they were very strong, very salty Earth people, had a strong morality,
Oh yeah,
were very careful in teaching him right from wrong, and so you just take that formula and just erase
the Kents.
Yes,
not bad. Okay, this could be good.
Yeah.
But so that's how that is. Now the only movie that I would love more than a Shazam movie is a Plastic Man movie. But if they do well in this, I think that they could do it. This is definitely a better one to start with, to test the waters to see if they can do the quirky heroes.
Yeah.
But no, I mean there's not much else. What was it? Shazam's main enemy is Black Adam, just for the record books, and so we'll see how he's implemented. He hasn't even been shown in the trailer yet, so we'll see.
Is Black Adam his bully at school, who is 12 years old and takes his lunch money? He goes, "Oh, Black Adam, I'm gonna punch you."
Why would there be a child named Black Adam?
But yeah, so we done with that, right? So
Yeah, looks pretty good.
let's see. Let's save maybe the best quote unquote for last. Aquaman, right? Everybody loves that Aquaman, correct?
Aquaman, thank you.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Liquid Lad.
Finally on the
Slippery Freddy.
silver screen. I don't understand why this movie needs to be made, but you know.
I mean, they
It's an
already retconned
Aquaman.
him in with freaking Justice League. Like, why go back? Why not only go forward? It doesn't make any sense. But
I could understand a movie that goes right after he got into the quote unquote Justice League, but I don't understand whatchamacallit, an origin story.
yeah.
I'm just
Well,
like,
okay, so just like this is actually a really good segue. Okay, so just like Shazam had two major models that continuities followed over the years, so is Aquaman. Aquaman has two major ones. Okay, one, he's the prince and sometimes the king of Atlantis. Okay, at that point. Okay. Grew up in Atlantis, royalty, this and that, knows everything, was taught by the wise old king, his father, killed by Black Manta, his mortal enemy of all Atlanteans, who's an Atlantean who went rogue, basically. And then there's the other one, the one that this movie, for some reason, thought would be good dragging out of the hole that it was left in. So this one is, okay, somehow the prince of all Atlantis makes it to the surface and is given to a lighthouse keeper. For God knows what reason. And from that point on, he is told nothing about his past until he is forced to understand it, in which at some points he thinks he's a freak of nature and develops some very unhealthy psychological issues along the way. Eventually realizing that, oh, I have this homeland that I never heard of, never knew of, that I now need to save or become a part of, or this or that. And for some reason, I take it upon myself to be like, oh, I always thought I was different. None of the other kids could talk to the fish. And so, and so he goes to Disneyland under the sea.
oh boy.
And finds out that his half-brother is messing shit up because he was the one who was kept for some reason. And the one that got chosen, and he's just a blumbering idiot. And so this one has a lot less impact as the other one, because it's more of like, oh yes, we're from the sea, we're going to help you people on the surface now as well, and you can help us, and we can live in harmony, kind of like Star Wars Episode 1, but better. And then this other one's like, nope, just gonna keep following this weird fate that follows me around for no reason, without questioning it. You know, it's bad.
It's looking a bit shaky. Yeah.
Yeah, even the
Yeah.
CG is just like, wow, really? You're gonna
Now,
bust out the gates
this might
with that?
this might be even more this might be even more costly than freaking the Justice League is what they're saying.
Man.
All the CGI.
Boy, jeez.
now, Josiah, we might judge the cast of Aquaman for giving up this child to a lighthouse keeper, but we have absolutely no idea how bad that Atlantean child support is. Like,
If you're the king, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't understand. If that was just a regular Atlantean, that would make sense. But he's the king. He's the prince. He's the firstborn. Like, he could have all the concubines he wanted. It doesn't matter about child support. He's got a palace the size of 8 houses.
Yep.
listen, man, raising a kid is already pressure enough. Raising a royal kid, sir, I'm tapping out. I can't blame anyone who does not want to be a part of this bullshit, this shenanigans.
But no, the most important thing is that they hire the same CG animators as they did for Black Panther that worked on that rhino.
Oh,
So we
boy.
can get some good-looking sea creatures.
Yeah. Especially Ariel makes a debut. I mean, cameo.
Yeah.
Under the sea. Down where it's wetter. It's always better.
Don't be a bedwetter. Come down when it's better. Listen to me. No, but okay. So best one so far. Hype to the roof.
Yeah. Same.
Atomic breath to the sky.
Yeah, boy.
We got J Dizzle. G
We
Dizzle.
got Big Lizzie. Big Lizzie coming through, boys.
Big
We got
Zilla.
Godzuki coming to town.
Godzilla,
Yeah,
King
King
of the
Ghidorah.
Monsters. The
Holding it down.
Monsters. Yep. Yeah.
Sterling,
Comparatively.
do you like big monsters?
What's up?
I don't think that I've ever heard your opinion on big monsters.
What about
Titans? The Titans.
you mean-
The other
yeah,
Y'all like
Titans.
kaiju, boys? Y'all like kaiju?
I like them enough.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're fun. I can't really get into the old ones a lot as I was.
Yeah.
I can. I used to go swap meets, pick up those VHS every time I saw a new one, man.
But yeah, I like them just enough. I do like them video games on said Godzilla games. Well, except for that
Yeah.
newest one that was horrible. But you know, cough cough.
Yeah.
I heard that Destroy All Monsters for the GameCube is
Yes,
kind of a classic.
it is very much so. But yeah, like my thoughts on said things is pretty much Shin Godzilla is the tippity top of the tier, and we'll see how this one fares against it.
Well, okay. So let's put this into perspective first.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shin Godzilla is about the best, like, cinematically a Godzilla film can get.
Yeah.
From, like, a professional standpoint.
Somewhat.
Of like plot, story, you know, devices used, you know, acting, realism, in
Yes.
a sense, you know.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Now that does not make it the best Godzilla film. That does not make it the best schlocky mess of Godzilla
Yeah.
using his fire blast to shoot himself through space to go after Space Godzilla.
Oh boy.
Godzilla doing weird dances after defeating his enemies for no reason. Baby Godzuki befriending a human child who is for some reason on the island of monsters.
Yeah.
So yes, Shin Godzilla is like the best movie, but I think we have some good runners for the best Godzilla film actually within the Godzilla spirit.
I do plan to check out Shin. I have not gotten around to it.
Have you seen the
But
legendary Godzilla movie that came out?
To be honest with you, I don't think that I've seen a single Godzilla movie. Period. So I could
Not
pretty much
even
start
the
anywhere.
classic 1998 Godzilla? Jeez.
I know next to nothing about Godzilla, and even I know that you don't touch that one with a 20-foot pole.
Don't worry, they took care of Zilla.
Oh, good.
Oh man, I still have
Both,
friends that think that
2015
that's the
and,
best one
Shin,
ever.
From what I understand, are both quite strong films.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot wrong with 2015, but
Yeah, that one's my least favorite that I've seen.
it's
Yeah.
it's a step in the right direction for modern Godzilla, but it's not nowhere near there.
Yeah. But yes, from what we've seen from this trailer, this King of the Monsters,
we got King Ghidorah.
extremely like looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So King Ghidorah, Rodan.
Because number one, they show you all the monsters up front.
Yeah. Instead of like 2 seconds.
And number two, it almost all the footage has the monsters destroying shit. So we
Yes.
know it's gonna, we won't have to wait for Godzilla for a good third of the movie, like 15. But so yeah, we got King Ghidorah, Rodan,
Mothra.
Yeah, Mothra, and then
Goji himself.
yeah,
Or herself.
Godzilla.
Whichever.
No, Zilla's the only one that's female of the Godzilla race.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that all the Godzillas until her son is all female.
That's not right.
I'm pretty sure.
Why are you lying to me? Why
I'm
would you
pretty
lie to me?
sure. But yeah, go on.
Also, we keep saying 2015, but it's 2014 the Godzilla movie came out, so
Yeah.
Ah,
Who
mistake.
cares?
it's hey, I'm just it's the first thing that popped up, so I'm just letting the people at home know that we're not ignorant.
Okay.
We are beautiful professionals with a very high standard.
I'm pretty
of
sure that
knowledge.
I've said this like a lot of times before on said podcast, but that's the only movie in which I've seen it 3 times. The Godzilla 2014 one, and at the same exact point I fell asleep at all 3 times.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. Anyway, this one looks more promising than that, extremely. So yeah.
It's still got
I do like the premise, quote unquote, because that's the premise that I'm always behind of end of the world type stuff. I'm like, oh boy, this could be the one, and it looks extremely intriguing in that regard.
I can't wait to see the third impact.
Yes. Oh boy. Any thoughts, Matthew, on Goji? On this trailer?
As I pointed out, I have next to no knowledge of the big guy. I am basically the total opposite of another famous Matt.
Gasp.
Who needs no introduction in that regard. All that I can say when I look at it is it looks good enough. The CG that I'm taking a look at here is not offensive by any means.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm definitely willing to give this a shot, and maybe I can begin my Godzilla knowledge with this.
Is this movie directed by a different person from the 2014 one, or I don't know?
Probably.
Because if it
also
is, I'll be like, oh boy.
I got some news on Godzilla being female. There is actually no official statement, except for Zilla. And the one you're talking about, the 1967 one where they bring in Melina or whatever the baby's name is.
Where they bring in their action figures, yes.
Well, the point is at that point, they did sculpt female genitalia on him for that movie, but the fact is that he's always been known as King of the Monsters, and so it's always been assumed that he's male.
Okay,
there has been no actual confirmed gender except for the 1998 version and the one where there was a child. So besides those 2 movies, it's assumed male.
Well, what if all this time Godzilla was trans? Cough, cough.
Wouldn't that be the fucking most insane twist of all?
How does a 10-story lizard be trans? Please, one who has no concept of gender dysphoria. An animal does not.
Oh boy, I think I just got the title for this podcast.
Yeah.
Is Godzilla trans? Find out more. Not clickbait.
Oh boy.
Man.
But yeah,
let's see, Gareth Edwards was the one who did the last Godzilla.
And then this one.
And no, he's not doing this.
Woo!
So thank God.
Oh boy. That's a.
So let's see who is directing.
Big
this one.
relief.
Tell me.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Just tell me who the director is. Gosh.
Yeah, though, Sterling.
Michael Dougherty.
Ah, okay. I've
Sounds
never heard of
familiar.
him.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, he did Krampus, Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
X-Men 2.
Yeah, that's why.
So I remember they talked about that in Red Letter Media, or somebody.
Yeah.
No, it was.
It was.
Red Letter, or
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Somebody was. One of the movie critics was.
Mhm.
Big dogs.
Though there's my answer for you, Sterling. I am very bare bones with my knowledge of kaiju. Like to be honest with you, Pacific Rim was my introduction more than anything else. So very new, very modern on that particular front. However, I will say that based on all the different interpretations of the big guy that I've seen over the years, from a purely visual standpoint, I would say that this is one of the best looking versions of Zilla that I've seen so far.
Cough. All right.
He's looking like a big husky boy, and I do like it. I'm looking forward to checking out more.
So how about that King Kong versus Godzilla that's gonna be coming on
I
out?
have never, not even once.
Oh boy. I don't know how I feel about that, but you know. Yeah.
Wouldn't King Kong get destroyed in a second?
I don't know. He has thumbs though, so you
I
never
don't
know.
I mean, technically he's the Rock Johnson stand, so who knows? It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Mhm.
I guess if Godzilla couldn't win a arm wrestling competition with The Rock, then he wouldn't be able to do much against King Kong. That's true. That'd be a pretty tight race.
Mm.
We got to see that now.
So with that, any last thoughts on any of these movies or trailers?
I'm disappointed that you guys don't know as much as Godzilla as I do.
Oh no.
I've only stuck to
by the
the
sounds of it.
Godzilla period ones, as in
You
There's
know that
Godzilla,
There's only
and
one.
then
There's only
there's
one.
Godzilla.
Besides Mothra, there's only one villain. I guess Mothra is a villain for like one movie. Besides Mothra, there's only one villain who is female as well. Kaiju. in the
Biollante or
Godzillaverse.
something like that.
Yes.
Yes, I know
The
that.
plant monster from space. Yes.
I know my lore from my video games. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay, with that, any last thoughts? Any last anythings? This is going to be a little short podcast, but you know,
Yes, it will.
we said what we said.
Little potty break.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Anything
that's
last?
better.
Anything? All right.
Um,
Matthew, my baby. Anything?
what is there to say?
Go watch more Godzilla.
I should watch more Godzilla.
Yeah,
Really?
uh-huh.
Should.
Go watch the 80s or 70s cartoon with Godzilla and Godzuki.
That 1998 Godzilla cartoon was pretty good, from what I recall.
I only remember the opening.
It pretty much is an actual sequel to the movie. I was like, oh, hey, look, that last egg in that final scene. Oh, that's the
Oh
Godzilla.
yeah, that's right. Now I remember.
Yep.
What a terrible thing.
Yeah. Mm.
If we're looking for something to round this out a bit better, maybe 5 minutes or so
Yes.
more worth of content, I can certainly wax poetic for a bit. I wouldn't mind chatting about something. Now,
What are you looking forward to, Matthew?
now as you,
What are
oh
you
no,
looking
I can get to what I'm looking forward to, and that'll
Matthew?
take like 20
Besides
seconds.
Shazam.
Besides
20 seconds.
reading from the B catalog, the B movie catalog, sir.
I was looking forward to something quite heavily, and now I have finished looking forward to it, and I've just enjoyed it. Now, you two fellas here
Yes.
have seen a fair bit of anime.
Maybe.
In your time.
Maybe I did.
You've
Probably,
watched
I
a
mean-
fair bit.
What about it?
But y'all ever seen Ninja Scroll?
Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Yeah, I have. It's probably
Yeah,
one
Everybody's
of my
seen Ninja
worst.
Scroll except you, man. I hate to
Yes.
break it to you, but
No, like I knew like 100% going in that
I mean, motherfucker was available at Blockbuster. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I knew going in that this was something of a super classic, and I was the one that was
Yeah.
that was sort of the loop on this. Guess what? I can see why it's considered a bit of a classic now. With the exception of a few moments of reused animation that felt a little bit choppy in the initial fight with Tessai, the rock guy. There's a few moments there where it's like, you use that over a few times. Apart from that, it's borderline flawless as far as visuals are concerned. And I watched
visuals
it today.
concerned. Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I watched it today with a good buddy of mine who has also watched a plethora of anime in his life. And he sat me down and he was like, "Now, Matt, you're a fan of Studio Madhouse." And I'm like, "Yeah, they've got sharp work. They've got beautiful work. It's good stuff." He was like, "Yeah, this is basically where they kicked off." And then he also showed me the opening scene of the Escaflowne movie.
Oh, wow.
And,
really?
Now I can see firsthand that they've been pretty consistent as far as visual quality is concerned. Because since I'm a bit more of a new bird in the anime scene as far as like the last decade goes, consists of my entire watching period, whereas you guys have been at this for longer. When I thought of Madhouse, I more than anything else went to Hellsing Ultimate. And now I can see that as far as their history goes, they've been holding it down for way fucking longer than that. So really rounding this out and getting a earlier look at the company's work was a hell of a nice treat for today. And now I get what the hype is all about, because Ninja Scroll is pretty fucking great as far as a action movie goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon enough, that's going to be a trigger. They're going to be people telling you, "Oh, go back and watch the Gynax stuff. It's much better."
Right, yeah.
I wonder why. Cough, cough.
Yeah, though. Ninja Scroll. I get it now. And I'm probably also going to knock off Escaflowne. Probably going to do that as well.
It's...
Well,
as the series?
Talk about it in 4 years when you finish.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. See, folks, it's gotten to the point where I can't even retort comfortably because he's right, and I've got no means to defend myself whatsoever.
The best way to defeat an opponent is defeat the path that they have to retreat.
Yes. The best way to vanquish your opponent is to target his procrastination.
The best way to beat somebody is to make them feel utterly uncomfortable and then tell them the truth.
That's why I keep coming back to this podcast.
Oh boy.
So I can get told the what for. No, though, yeah. It should be a good time. After I knocked off Ninja Scroll, I checked out 2 episodes with the same friend.
Episodes of what?
We knocked that off, and then we sit down and we're like, "Hey, we got time. Let's watch 2 episodes of something." And Sterling's gonna scoff at this. He is gonna hate me. But the 2 of us sat down and we were like, we're in the mood for something that looks good. Just some real visual flair, something that we can kick off together and knock off the bucket list. And we sat down and watched the first 2 episodes of Fate Apocrypha.
Oh.
We did not start with Stay Night, but we have dipped our toes into Fate.
You haven't even started anywhere close to the beginning.
Man, oh man. Now, Apocrypha is, yes, nowhere near the beginning as far as the history of this franchise being made into a anime. Stay Night goes back way further, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
But as far as the actual franchise's in-universe timeline goes, Apocrypha is actually one of the earliest things that you can go with. So we went with that based on that merit. We're interested in checking this out chronologically.
Chronologically for continuity, not chronologically for...
Not in terms
for
of
release.
Production history.
Yes.
Not our production history, yeah. Yes, Sterling, that's about the reaction that I expected. Listen.
Hey, all I will say is that Fate Zero is the only good one, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's all I'll say.
Of course, you can always watch Shakugan no Shana, which is like Fate Light for people.
Yeah. I am going into this with my expectations, set at a moderate level. I'm not expecting anything too crazy. With that being said, visually, this series is fucking great so far, and I'm only 2 episodes in. Everything that I'm seeing is great, and I'm not just talking about Astolfo. I have spent more than enough time going on and on about how much I like this character.
Even though that you've never even seen the series.
And now I can see this boy.
All right.
Ain't that a fucking treat?
Okay.
And there's not much more to say. Apocrypha looks very nice. Let's see if it is very nice in a broader sense. You say no.
Okay.
And we'll have to see how it goes. That's about all from me.
All right, Josiah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's close this, and we're gonna wish our viewers, a big ding dong energy for the week upcoming.
Yes, we will.
That spiritual energy of ding dongs.
Yep. Get that.
Oh yeah, and I'm playing Bloodborne. That's great. Nothing more to say.
Bootyborn.
Let's wrap it up.
Booty Breathborn.
Yeah, boy. It's a fun game.
Alright, you wanna send us off, Josiah?
Alright, boys, what do we say?
Don't
get
eliminated.
Goodbye.
Take care, folks. Have a good day.
Ah!